You're live on your election headquarters here on the Joy News channel, Joy 99.7 FM, and of course, Joy Prime Television. We're also live on myjoyonline.com. Now, we just came back from the NPP's Internal Coalition Center, where the National Communications Officer, the NCA boss, Joe Anoche, was actually walking us through how they went about the coalition process, by which way they say they have won the presidential election and they have secured a majority in parliament. What we'll do now is we'll speak to some stalwarts of the NDC, Rojo Metonunu, former Deputy Health Minister, and Michael Pesa-White, Dr. Michael Pesa-White. Now, they were interviewed by Parker Wilson, and they have some concerns about the EC's planned declaration of results later today. 5 p.m. the EC has scheduled to declare results. Rojo Metonunu and other members of the NDC have concerns. Watch this.
Representing the party at the National Coalition Center. Now, let me start with Mr. Metonunu. You are raising some concerns about the fact that the EC has failed to explain to you the delay in transmission of results. I know you were here since last night, you and Dr. Michael Pesa-White. I mean, I was there with you. We've been sleeping here the whole night. What really are your concerns, sir?
Basically, our concerns have to do with transparency. One would have expected that once the format for receiving results changes, there would be some effort to explain the processes to the representatives of the political parties here. In the previous experience, the EC was the returning officer, but committed agents as presiding officers and returning officers to first of all start the election process in the 38,622 polling stations. Now, they would not declare the results, but they would certify it. And the results would then move from the polling station to the collation center, the constituency collation center. Now, that constituency for the parliamentary elections represents the final point for the parliamentarian. And the returning officer or the presiding member declares the result for the parliamentary there.
At the constituency level?
Yes.
Right.
But for the presidency, because the electoral commissioner is the sole returning officer, the agents of the EC do not have the power by law to declare the results for the presidency. Right. It must go through another cycle of vetting and verification. And in the past, we were faxing the results from the regional EC offices.
But because that hasn't changed, because that's what we are told that they are doing this
it hasn't changed.
Right.
Now, in the current dispensation, they have indicated that, unlike the past, where they brought individual constituency results at different times, they would have to summarize all the constituency results in the region before forwarding it to this place.
To the National Coalition Center.
So if you take Ashanti region, for example, that has 47 constituencies. It is not until such time that the EC at the constituency regional level has been able to satisfy itself that all the results are valid, certified, that it then summarizes the results and forwards it to the EC here. Okay. Now, the challenge normally for this process means that we here in the strong room would not be able to receive any regional results, because at this point the EC would not declare provisional results. Anything they certify from the region is part of the summary. You understand what I'm saying? So let's assume that there was ballot snatching, okay, swapping, transfiguration of results, numbers, and so on, or transposition, and somebody decides to challenge for a recount. Okay. It would distort the summary process, because Ashanti would have to wait for that one constituency to be resolved before the regional EC director would forward the summary to this place.
But that's been spelled out clearly right from the beginning of this process. The chairperson herself consistently updated the media and, of course, the public on the processes, which I'm sure that the parties at the APAC level also received the same briefing.
But intent is not practice. We are here now as partners in the democratic process, and we would expect that there would be some level of transparency. Because when you say summary, I must aggregate the things that make up the summary before I summarize. Okay. So whatever is being brought here would be brought as constituency results, and then the summary would be confirmed by the EC, and we would confirm that whatever they are summarizing is indeed what was declared at the constituency level. We've been here for so long, and we still haven't seen any summary of any regional result. There are 16 regions, and we still, as I speak, I haven't seen, have you seen any?
I haven't seen any.
I haven't seen any.
But you are here with the Electoral Commission.
Yes.
I mean, the chairperson herself had 2 deputies, including spokesperson for the Electoral Commission, Director of Electoral Services, and the rest of it. Have you made any official communication to these individuals? What has been their concerns?
Well, in the beginning, this morning, around 7:30 a.m., some result of Tano North was posted on the projector, and some of us decided to begin to interrogate it. My visual concern was that it was one person writing all the results, but even with that first result, there were some errors in the figures and the words, to the extent that there had been changes in those 2, but nobody had initialed it. The second thing I noticed was that apart from the NDC and the MPP, the other presidential candidate representatives were not available to sign that certification.
Okay. So they did not have any party agents at the collection center?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I saw on the screen, because they did not sign. Whether they refused to sign or were unavailable, that I cannot tell. You understand? Okay. If there's any complaint, I believe that it may come in the complaint form or something. The next thing we noticed was that the regional electoral officer had initialed the constituency results. So I asked administratively a very harmless question: where is the certification of our regional reps on that document? Because I thought that was a constituency declaration. But the moment you have the regional EC on it, he's validating that. So I then asked, will there be another document that shows that the various regional reps have endorsed what is being transmitted? Because there could have been a swap in ballots, there could be changes in the numbers, and I would want to satisfy myself that that has been certified and vetted, and this is the true result. NDC has deployed over 275 lawyers to all the 275 constituency EC centers. And we also have 16 regional legal reps. So either I see a signature or I see that of the election directorate. So I started interrogating the thing. We even made phone calls to the constituency level just to find out what was going on. Now, then the senior person, he said it's just for information purposes. But summary vetting, how can that be for just information purposes?
So for now, you've not received any result from any of the region?
Normally when we come here,
right,
EC gives every rep a file, and they have a logbook, so that anything that goes out of the fax, the time you receive it is noted, like a logbook. So I can then say with my chest out that yes, the EC has given me all the certified results. As we speak, I don't have a file. I have not received any documentation. Nothing.
And they've not said anything to you too as well. I mean, the political parties here.
In terms of timelines, nothing. Nothing. But then I cited an invitation for an event at 5 p.m. today for the declaration of the results of the presidency.
That the commission is going to declare the results of the presidents at 5 p.m.
That is what the invitation says.
You have received an invitation to that. When did you receive that, sir?
I can show that to you. It's on my WhatsApp platform. I can show it to you.
And this is authentic. You verify from
It
the
has been confirmed.
It has been
by the
confirmed.
Deputy EC.
Oh, maybe you can.
Is it be confirmed by Dr.
Of course, I called him to ask him whether he's seen this invitation. He said, yes, they put it out, and they are hoping that by 5 o'clock, they would have gotten all the results from the region. And then I asked, how is that possible? We've been sitting here for 12 hours, we've not received a single result, and between now and 5 o'clock, you think we can get all the results from across the country? And then he said, well, they are hoping that they will get it. But let me just be clear and add to what Uncle Rojo has said. This whole thing, we are here because we are partners in the democratic process. And I think that in the interest of transparency, fairness, and integrity of the process, political party representatives are properly included in everything. We've been sitting here for 12 hours and no official of the EC had even bothered to say, hey guys, okay, we know that you've been here for so long. We are sorry for the delay. We will do this, we will do that, we will do that. Nothing of that sort has happened. A few minutes ago, we were sitting there. I decided to stretch and walk around, and I saw EC staff in the room printing stuff from the various printers. So I decided to snoop around, and I noticed on one in particular, an email has been opened, and the file that was open was saying, Ayawaso West Wagon. And so just when I was looking at it, the lady closed it. So I was like, hey, madam, this is not really in the interest of why we are here. This is a pink sheet you've opened, and you are closing it just because you saw me passing. And this is why we are here. It is in the interest of the EC that we actually see and know what is going on, so that in the event that something is raised against the EC, we can say we have seen it. As it is now, I have seen that pink sheets are arriving through email, but we have been told that pink sheets will arrive through what? Fax. So we are beginning to get concerned.
But let me this quick correction. In fact, I personally spoke to Dr. Shebokoku on Sunday evening, and he clearly told me that they're going to receive the pink sheet via fax and also email. So it's not necessarily about email, but it's going to be through fax or either email. Okay.
So there is a problem. So there is a problem here.
To be clear, emails can be corrupted.
That's exactly the point I want to
No,
make.
but he made the point that there's been security.
No.
I mean,
He's saying that.
Right.
I'm telling you on authority that even Donald Trump's emails were interfered with. Hillary Clinton's emails were interfered with. When I sent, in fact, let me see, in 2008, when they were using the faxes that were supposed to have come from the EC official faxes by address were coming from comm centers. I was the one who detected it. So I'm just praying that we made progress. That's 2008. We are in now 2020. I pledge to peace. I owe it to this country that I cherish this country. We should have a peaceful election. And all we're asking is for a certain level of transparency, candor, so that we can trust ourselves as partners in this democratic process. I don't want my legacy to be, shrouded in any violence and anything. No. I owe it to this country. And that's all we are pleading. Can we have a certain level of transparency so that the threshold of credibility of this election will not be marred? Look, we're getting pressure from the outside. What is going on? What is going on? We need information, just so that people don't get heart attack. It's not a do and die thing, but people are dying. Gunshots are being fired.
Right. So the point has been made about a 12-hour delay and no communication has been given to the parties.
That's
right. So of course we'll get some official reaction from the Electoral Commission on some of these. In fact, I have my colleague Israelai stationed at Dr. Shebo's office, and he will get an official response as to whether indeed the Electoral Commission has invited or sent invitation to the political parties that they're going to declare the presidential result at 5 p.m.
And that's my colleague, Kwesi Parker Wilson, speaking to Rojo Metil Nunu and Dr. Michael Pesa White. This is your election headquarters, coming to you live on the Joy News channel, the Joy Prime Television, and of course, Joy 99.7 FM, all our social media handles, and live on myjoyonline.com.